Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? It's Russ here from Poker's Corner. The biggest gob in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dares say. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Right, let's get down to business. Lady in calamine in lotion. Has anybody got the same issue with these bed bite things that are doing round or whatever it is? Well, I think it's that. Might have overdone it a bit with calamine lotion. Hey, you can Google too much and take too much on board in your head, can't you? I think last time we had some of this on, you had chicken pox as a kid. Yeah. Anyway, we know what the main topic is, don't we? We know, don't we? We know. Misfits. It's on everybody's lips, isn't it? So I say let's back up about 5 years, 4 or 5 years. We all remember Juggies, don't we? Spencer Oliver and his ginger mate from EastEnders, the ginger bald one, you know, with that Joe Weller, or KSI or Logan, whatever, all that shower. They were responsible. They fetched him over here. They were opening doors for him, hanging out the back of them. Now look, they all want them gone now, don't they? Hey, because there's no room at the inn for them, is there? Eddie Hills, he was in there as well, wasn't he? Riding high, putting Billy Joe on undercard. We remember, don't we, out there in America, piling them all up. Next minute, he's suing one of them. Unbelievable. He was sat there ringside with his daughter, Eddie Hills, trying to stay in the mix. He was there with Cougs. Well, let's have it right. I didn't have time of day for this lot when they first started. Now all of a sudden, he's my new best friend. Well, that's not it all. We've got the Gad there. He's in the mix with him, hanging out the back of them. Yeah, they'll have all been back to Gad Cave, won't they? The security, all that security, Clifton Mitchell, all of them, all turning a blind eye, taking money for being a security for this lot, but yet they want to do it for boxing. I don't know. Don't moan about them, Clifton. If you're taking the money for being the security, don't bitch. All right. And then we've got Big John Fury from Fury Power in the ring on the road. 200-ton lifts with his toenails. Eh? Unbelievable. Living in jungle in a Russian tank. The man makes Bear Grylls look like Hilda Ogden. And then we go down to his son, Tommy Fumbles. Oh my God. Can't even set a trap in the ring with a non-boxer. Footwork, shocking. No jab. Couldn't knock an hen over with that jab. You know what I mean? Couldn't knock an hen over. Walking about, puffing his chest out. Unbelievable. Totally embarrassing. All that big build-up. All that chat. All that talk from them all. That Logan Paul, who was basically a wrestler, a pumped-up wrestler. That dweeb that he were fighting, who's got about 2 brain cells in his head. That dashing Dylan Dennis, or whatever he's called. What were all that about? And Logan Paul telling his missus, I roughed him up for you. Jesus. I mean, to fight him for her honour. Oh my God, what were it all about? Turning up with paedophile hunters and whatnot. Shocking. Throwing microphones about, just vileness and vulgar swearing, and no, it's going to come of it. Normally, you've only got to let an F bomb go to get a £200 fine, haven't you? From Roberto Smith of the board or Charlie Giles of the yard, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? What about DAZN letting all this go on and rubbing their hands? TalkSport loving it because they got 2.2 million watching them commentate when normally they got about 18 to 20,000. That's on big heavyweight nights. So this is not going to go away, boys and girls. This Misfits isn't going anywhere. Not when they're doing them numbers. John Fury only has to pick his nose if he's connected to this Misfits. He's doing 1 million views in 3 days. What on earth is that? And then we've got the media, haven't we? IFL, Seconds Out, Boxing Social, all the rest of them, hanging out the back of them, the lot of them. Pound signs in their eyeballs. Unreal. Then we've got Bricktop's little role in it all. Yeah, old Bricktop. He'll have his spies out all over the place. He had Freddie Flintoff turning pro, didn't he, many moons ago, about 15 years ago, wasn't it? Everybody went mad then and it all died down, but it come back again, didn't it? So really, Bricktop was doing all this long before these lot. On a big platform as well, ITV, I believe. As regards for the judging, shocking, the refereeing, well, they've got Ian John Lewis on the job. The guy's a raving lunatic, raving. When you think of incompetence, you think of Ian John Lewis. So what do? They give him a job on Misfits. Somebody who's incompetent. I hate to go along with all vulgar and vileness. Unbelievable. So what have this Misfits got? Well, they've got that KSI, haven't they? They've got them Paul brothers. And they've got Tommy Fumbles. They can all fight each other in trilogies for all I care. What have they got after that? Not really got a lot, have they? But if they're only putting 2 big shows on a year, that's all they need, isn't it, really, till they get a few more stars. It's enough to throw a stone in the works, isn't it? Or a spanner in the works, so to speak, with boxing. That's how I look at it. I mean, some of these, has anybody actually seen some of these interviews with these influencers and YouTube people from the big YouTube brigade? Have you seen them? They are tickling their arseholes, tickling them. You've never seen nothing like it. Never seen anything like it. I think there's only Fight Disciples, Adam Cattrall and Nick Pete and Carl Froch on fighting, sticking it to these lot and me. Everybody else is hanging out the back of these people. And I mean, literally. Hey, we've got that Kalasua rat strutting around, thinking he's Roy DeMeo. Hey, what is all that about? Strutting around thinking he's a mobster from the 70s in New York with his slicked back hair. Hey, gurning his nuts off. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Never seen anything like it. Rimming, unbelievable. Derek Chisora high-fiving all of them. All a lot of them. Going in the dressing rooms, every one of them. Getting his son on camera and all. He can't leave it alone, Del Boy. Can Del Boy go home and spend time with your family? You sound like Scooby-Doo. It's been 6 years since you've been able to throw a proper straight punch. Go and get a job. There's plenty of jobs about. All right. Instead of hanging around boxing like a bad smell, trying to bully and intimidate people, or walking around where you live with your big stupid dog. Eh? Probably the most insecure man I've ever seen in boxing, Derek War Chisora. They just don't want to be left out, do they? Once it's over, they can't leave it alone, can they? They can't leave it alone, can they? Hanging about like a bad smell. Yeah, that's what happens. So all you boxers who are just retiring now or are washed up, age 31, you can't leave it alone. You'll end up like Derek when you're 41. Trust me. Which is not a good look, is it? Going to these kiddies, teeny bopper shows, swearing and being vile and threatening and spitting and carrying off and mooning and all this and trying to cause problems and fights and fake and intense beef to get views and that. All that carrying off. It's all in front of kids. These influencers, these role models, it's vulgar, disgusting. They've shown the true colours. They thought they could do what they do in boxing to get views, but they forgot about the clientele, the kids and all that. They're carrying off like they do it, selling it to boxing people, but going a little bit too far because they can't get done off board or they can't get sanctioned. All the true colours have came out, haven't they? All of them. You see how they were behaving? Just like I behave on a daily basis. I ain't got a board laminate, have I? Carrying off, they're no different to me. They're no different to me. I've got a vile tongue, and I been nick all my life, drugged out my head. I've got no excuses, have I really? What about these lot? They've been portraying themselves and this and that for years. Now all of a sudden, look how they've all shown themselves up. Hey, they've shown the real colours of for what? A few quid. Probably an extra 1,000 pay-per-view buys. Probably 1 or 2,000 on the night. Split between how many of them? Carrying off like that all week for probably an extra couple £100 a piece. Hey, people lose their shit, don't they, over £1 out? I've never seen anything like it in my life. I haven't, honestly. Never seen no like it in my life. Unbelievable. This is how I look at it. You know, your Derek Chisoras and people like that. Maybe when they were fighting, they should have just trained that a little bit harder, been that little bit more patient, waiting for big fights, and they might have got the just deserves or just rewards. But they haven't. And it's all over now, but they just won't jog, will they? Hanging about. Do you know what I mean? For every one Adrian King's heavyweights that come through the system, you know, that Adrian King who they're all raving about, who Curtis Woodhouse has got, the heavyweight kid, 18, 19-year-old, is he? They're all raving about him, aren't they? Well, for every one of them that comes through, there's 10 like Derek Chisora hanging about like a bad smell who won't piss off out at sport, that weren't world champions, and they just can't leave it alone. 13 losses and strutting around like he's Floyd Mayweather. You couldn't make it up. Big, intimidating bully, Derek Chisora, a.k.a. John Fury. That's what he is, another John Fury, strutting around, terrorizing all them YouTubers so they can't do the jobs and all that. Half of them are arseholes anyway, but there's a lot of good media people that go to these shows. You're not allowed to ask proper questions. They know they daren't ask these lot. Get these in front of me, I'll put it on them straight away what they are, these. Wrong uns. Wrong uns. But what can you do? The sport's that fractured now. They're letting people like that Kalasua strut around like he runs boxing, doing stuff like this. You ain't got a caring world. And doing other stuff as well, professional stuff. It's one rule for one, isn't that right, Calla? Hey, the worst teeth job I've ever seen in my life. Calla, when you go and get your teeth done, lad, make sure you get them all straightened up. Make sure you say to the dentist, ask him what he's on an hour, and ask him if he's qualified to cut the teeth. I don't just mean in a straight line. I mean actually shape them. So look embarrassing, them teeth. Go and get them done properly. Get yourself over to Cosmetic Beach. Get all hot pull out and start again. Not that bad. Hey, unbelievable. Captain Chaos on profile photo. Look at him. Look at him. Big white bearded dude. Looks like Captain Birdseye, doesn't he? Strutting around. Threatening and fighting. He's not throwing a punch. He's there to sell the fight. That's all. He's probably embarrassed about it all, actually. I mean, what sort of man would brass himself up like this? Prostitutes. Is it brass or pros, or is it prostitutes? Or prostitutes? I don't know, but best laugh I've had all weekend is watching this and looking at some of the rats hovering around it who really do a little bit embarrassed that they're there, but they've got to be there, haven't they? It's like going to work to them for a minute. Going to that show for a lot of people is like going to work. If you work in boxing industry, you've got to get the sons out there, haven't they? That's all it is. Got to get the sons out there. It's like when Adam Booth were in his pomp 10 years ago. Every time you turn your telly on, it would go to Adam Booth. They're Adam Booth there strutting around in his Darth Vader outfit. Hey, he was going to work for him, wasn't it, Adam Booth? But eventually, he overkilled it, didn't he? And people were like, oh, God, what's going on here? Adam Booth's fighters have been sussed out. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you overkill it. It's like Tommy. Everybody's got him down as this roadman and this and that. Right? Who can do no wrong because he looks the part. When you scratch the surface, and they've got Tommy in there with that KSI. What did he really look like? And who's trained him? Hey, who's trained him? Well, big fella hasn't trained him, has he? He's been taking all credit. He'll push that mat a bit forward now. Who has been training him? Listen, you can either fight or you can't. Tommy can't fight. That's the bottom line. He can't fight. Do you know what I mean? It's either in you or in. His dad wants to be a fighter, but his dad can't fight. You've seen his dad fight, haven't you, on my channel? My most viewed video, he got flattened twice on my channel, Big John Fury. I tried to hide footage, but I got the footage. Hey, isn't that right, Big John? Hey, the Bear Grylls of Manchester. Hey, unbelievable. This is in front of our eyeballs, though. And they're not done yet. They want a rematch. They want a rematch with him, don't they? Tommy and KSI. Pop, pop, bang. Who'd want to watch that again? It'd be like asking for a trilogy with Nathan Cleverly and Tony the Bellend Bellew. Who'd want to watch that again? Eh? Nobody would want to watch it again, would they? Would you want to watch Paul Smith against Zuger again? No, you wouldn't. I've had enough of Paul Smith rematches. Eh? We seen the Tony Dodson rematch, didn't we? And the Arthur Abraham. I'm still trying to get them 2 36-minute bouts that were extra back. I'm owed 72 minutes. Jesus. No. Do I see KSI and Tommy fighting again? Who'd want to pay for that? And how could they sell that? What would they have to do? Hang John Fury from Umber Bridge naked? Is that what they'd have to do? How would they sell that fight? How could they sell Tommy versus that KSI? Tommy Fumbles and KSI. How could they sell that after that shit feast we've just seen? Eh? The Hugginators, Tommy and that, who is it, hugging themselves to death. Eh? And dragging it out for 18 minutes just to get paid. Eh? What is all that about? 18 minutes work, 5 million quid. That's not bad, that is it? Eh? What's that about? How much is that? About, God knows. It's a lot of money, isn't it? Eh? That is a lot of dough. You know what I mean? But hey ho, what can you do? What can you do? It's 2 minutes, yeah. Unbelievable. But it is what it is, isn't it? Let's hope that Tommy comes out this week, puts a statement out and says, you know what, I'm done with this. I want to fight for area belt at light heavyweight or cruiserweight. Or they could invent a weight for Tommy, couldn't they? Because it's poor little Tommy, innit? They could invent a belt. They could invent a belt at 185 for Tommy, couldn't they? Could call it light cruiser, couldn't they? Or super light heavyweight. Either way, they could invent a belt for Tommy Fury just so he could get an area belt, because at this rate, only belt he's ever going to own in his life's a snake belt. Because I don't think he's got a belt, has he? Only one that they invented for him for that last fight. I'm on about a belt where he's earned it. I'm on about one of the 6 belts, area, English, British, Commonwealth, European, and world. I'm on about one of them belts. I'm not on about a snake belt from Burton's in town. I'm on about a proper belt, one of the 6 levels. He's never going to get one of them, is he? He might squeak a British Masters if it's vacant and he's fighting some knockover job, but I don't count that belt. Only belts we count are area upwards. And Fumbles ain't got one, and he ain't never going to get one while he's got an hole in his arsehole. And certainly not while he's got his crank father behind him. But one thing his dad will do, they'll not sell themselves short, will they? They'll get paid. He'll make sure his lads get paid. Of course, he'll be getting his slice at pay. He don't work for no, does he? Big John. He'll tell you he does, but let me tell you, he don't. And it wouldn't surprise me if he were taking half of what Fumbles was taking. Hey? Because Fumbles is not exactly the sharpest tool in box, is he? Well, he ain't, is he? But what can you do? What can you do? So that's about it, really. Bit of an extra video for you. Yeah. There's loads of videos on members area this week. I've treated you all. You've been treated royally. All right. So thank you very much for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. All right. Hope everybody is okay and enjoying their day. All right. Okie dokie. Roll on Thursday. It's my birthday. Peace out. Pop, pop, bang. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Yaka.